For those of you that don't know me, my name is Rafi, and I am Johnny's brother. It all started in 1984, when Johnny was born. He thought the world revolved around him. 2 years later, I was born to remind him that it actually revolves around me. It seems as though I've been writing this speech my entire life, taking mental notes every time Johnny faced a challenge, accomplished a goal, and especially taking that long midnight express home in college. When Johnny proposed to Savannah, I thought it was only natural that he was going to ask me to be his best man. But where and how he chose to do that was in true Johnny fashion. I flew out to LA for the weekend, and one evening, after dusk, Johnny drove me to the top of this mountain, to this lookout point on famous Mulholland Drive. It had a beautiful view of the night skyline, and I kind of knew what was going to happen. He was going to tell me how much he loved me, and how thankful he was to have such a wonderful brother like me. But when he sent me first into a closed state park after midnight, I should have seen the outcome. The security cameras started flashing pictures of me. A voice through the park's loud system said that I was trespassing, and the police were dispatched, and they were on their way. Needless to say, this is pretty much how the entirety of our childhood went. Johnny would think up some clever scheme, and I would be the fall guy who got caught doing it. I've always looked up to my older brother, even though I've had 50 pounds on him since I was 10. And I hate to admit this, but when Johnny and I would fight, he would always win. When we got into our teen years, things started to change a little. A natural competition began, and we battled in every race, from school to sports to independence. But I always wanted to be like Johnny, even in competition. He tried out for the high school varsity basketball team. I played on the high school varsity basketball team. He went to Western Michigan University for 1 year. I went to Western Michigan for 2 years. He then transferred to Michigan State and went for 3 years and 6 months. I transferred and went for 3 years and 7 months. While we were at Michigan State, Johnny told me about his new friend, Savannah. Now, I always thought, scratch that, I always knew I had better luck when it came to the ladies. But when Johnny introduced me to Savannah for the first time, I knew the powers had shifted. And his luck had just begun. Savannah was this educated, independent, working woman who was just as gorgeous on the outside as she is on the inside. The more I got to know Savannah, the more I loved her. She challenged my brother in conversation, which made him learn more. She provoked his thoughts, which made him think more. She pushed him through his entire college career, which has not only prepared him to be a pharmacist, but a skilled one too. There are many reasons why I love Savannah, but my favorite two, first off, the fact that she is a phenomenal dancer. And since Johnny isn't, I always reap the benefits when we go to Kef's. And secondly, the more important of the two, what I have found in Savannah is the only person who loves my brother more than I do. Johnny, I've known you my entire life. You are my best friend, and you have always made me feel as though I was the most important person in your world. I believe that even if we had grown up in different states, we would have still ended up as best friends. And now that we do live very far apart, and your wife is now the most important person in your life, I have no doubt that we will remain best friends. Our bond is strong. I know your strengths. I know your weaknesses, your secrets and your successes. Having said that, I would love to say that Savannah is the lucky one for getting you, but I can't. You're the lucky one for getting her. Throughout all of Johnny's achievements, you are the best thing that has ever happened to my brother. You are his smile, and you are his happiness. Savannah, I've waited my whole life to have a sister, and I'm so happy that that sister is you. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses for my sister and her husband.